What's missing is when you talk about faith, you don't look at what faith teaches. First and foremost, what faith teaches is that, listen, you're a human being, so respect your fellow human beings. And I think that's the important point that you don't want to discuss.
What is the penalty for apostasy?
That is the thing that you fail to discuss, and that's why you've got those prejudicial views about faith. What is the
penalty for apostasy? What do you teach the children will happen to them if they give up the Muslim faith?
Well, let's bring the debate back into Britain.
What is the penalty for apostasy?
I'll tell you what we will do, because we could go down. Are you saying that the fact that you're brought up within a religious faith doesn't prevent you being open-minded or adopting any religion or none?
Not at all. It does not prevent me from being open to other religions.
But what is the penalty for apostasy? What is the penalty for leaving the Muslim faith?
To be honest, I cannot back that point up.
Dr. Mukadam, what is the penalty for apostasy?
And, before...
we keep coming down this apostasy.
Penalties of the stoning to death of homosexuals or adulterers. Is that something that is in the Quran? Is it something that you approve of?
I don't understand the question.
What's the punishment? You said that they only get punished if they make a public display. What's the punishment?
Oh, to be honest, I don't really know what the punishment is, but there's a range of opinions amongst Islamic orthodoxy, and I think they're already available on the web.
Anybody that supports Sharia law in this country should be deported.
So do you know what Sharia law is?
Yes, but it does not have
do you know
rights.
What it is? Me praying
Sharia law?
Of course, me praying 5 times a day is Sharia.
Okay.
Right? Like basic...
What about the equal rights for women? What about...
That is completely separate from Islam.
Can you be gay in Gaza?
Yes, you can.
Really?
Yes, you can.
And live?
Absolutely, you can. You know what? It's even more offensive because you're saying...
I'm just asking because I've heard
you can be gays
read...
in Gaza.
Really?
I traveled the Middle East.
A fear of God is necessary.
Not necessarily. I mean, I actually agree with Stephen that you use the word genetic. Maybe there's a genetic component that we believe as Muslims that God has actually created human beings with moral understanding within them, so we know certain things are not right, certain things are wrong. So we do have that moral compass
slavery is mentioned in the Quran, it's mentioned in the Bible.
It's not just mentioned; it is overtly allowed within these texts. So it's not certainly within the Bible. So, and that's another part of the Old Testament that somehow gets revised so that we can ignore that whilst paying attention to Leviticus 20.
So going back to the word about sperm being produced in the backbone and the ribs, that's a non-issue. That's a non-issue. It's not in the Quran.
That man is created from a spurting fluid, which we agree that in every other reference is talking about semen. And indeed, the translation that I have has the word semen in brackets. We don't spurt water, at least not from that location. We might urinate or we might salivate and a number of other things, but we're not spurting liquid from between the backbone and the breastbone.
Okay, that's your interpretation. So if you interpret it that way,
what interpretation could there be? That the Quran is contradicting itself?
Well, I think it's just using water.
So just water. So in this case,
so are we made from water?
Okay, then in this case, human beings are created from water.
Except every other reference where it says we're created from sperm.
On the page number 364A of his book, The Human Embryo, that in the 7th week the bones are formed, and immediately after that the flesh is formed, and the bones are clothed with flesh. Keith Moore is wrong. He's an embryologist. This is his field.
It's my field too. I know he's wrong.
You're an embryologist?
Yes.
Oh, great! Wow, that's news to me. Okay.
So that's wrong because what happens first is you have differentiation of mesoderm.
Right.
That within the mesoderm you have segregation into things like embryonic mesenchyme, and then you have these cartilaginous centers that will form bone.
Right.
And these are forming simultaneously with each other.
Right. Simultaneously.
Yes.
Even if that's the case, the Quran is right, because thumma is very, even if that's the case, linguistically the Quran is right. Thumma literally can in Arabic language means things happening simultaneously. Yes.
Well.
Yes.
But that's besides the point. Wait.
I need it to be heard that the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us our rights. People, individuals in countries and people who represent our religion may not, and they may do the wrong thing to sort of stand in front and show us religion and preach us religion, but Islam does.
All right. We're going to take that as a comment, a very passionate one at that. Okay.
Well, no. No, we're not. No, we're not going to take it as a comment. I can see your face, I can see your hair, and I can see you sitting in an audience with young gentlemen. Don't you tell me you can do any of that in Iran.
I can, though.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you cannot.
I can. In Iran, it says to cover your head, to be modest.
It's a shame she spoiled what could have been a perfectly good statement.
All right, okay, I'm sorry.
Modesty would be there. I mean, you've been talking about these cheap jokes and things throughout this whole conversation, but you're the only one making the cheap comments.
You insult your sisters in Tehran who are being beaten, and raped every day when you say that they have their rights in the Islamic Republic. It's an insult to the women of Iran.
I do not. Astaghfirullah.
If you're going to talk about Sharia law, if you're going to talk about the law that mandates the cutting off of hands of thieves or throwing gays from rooftops.
Is that in the Quran, Sam? Sam, is that in the Quran, throwing gays from rooftops? Sam, is that in the Quran?
It's in the Hadith.
It's not in the Quran. You know it's not in the Quran, Sam. And not all Muslims follow Hadith. You know that. I've had a gay imam, openly gay imam.
Dean, let him interrupt me.
Sam, finish your thought, and then Dean, you can respond.
When all Sharia conditions apply in a perfect Sharia state, should apostasy be a criminal offence? Yes or no?
Well, here we are again, another groundbreaking Islam is evil or bad discussion and so on. And I think it's been done to death, unfortunately.
Before we go any further, could you just clarify?
But I mean, look, I could say that I became...
You've never done apostasy before.
I could say I became Muslim because I was educated, right? Just because I don't think it's wrong to say just I became educated. That's why I left Islam.
Can we just establish the ground rules on this? It's a straight question, then we'll move on to the other issues, because it's fascinating, because 23 countries across the world, it's in the penal code. When all Sharia conditions apply in a perfect Sharia state, should apostasy be a criminal offence?
I don't accept the Victorian era translation of irtidad.
He will never admit to it.
No, I don't accept. I don't.
Wait. Let's clarify first of all. What does apostasy mean to you then?
Well, in English, apostasy just means changing your mind. Whereas in Islam, irtidad would be best translated as sedition or treason.
All right, which in some states it's seen as treason or sedition to actually leave the religion. Let me ask you one more thing. Then we'll throw it into the mix with everyone else. I mean, you shared platforms with this London Imam, Haytham al-Haddad, who says that female genital mutilation is obligatory. He supports wife beating, supports gays being killed. And he has said that apostates should be killed and that their blood is halal. Do you disown this disgusting bigot?
Well, first and foremost, I share platforms with atheists, Christians, Jews, even apostates and so on.
Abdullah.
No. Wait a second.
Just say it.
I think what is unfair is I could bedeck this entire audience out with people who've become Muslim, who've been ostracized by their family,
do you disown this disgusting bigot?
Threatened, abused by their parents for becoming Muslim. They've had to spend the night in mosques because their parents have
do you disown this disgusting bigot?
Nick, he will never answer that question because he believes in a concept of tricking.
No, I believe in the concept of if you're going to talk about someone, invite them and let them speak for themselves. I'm only here to talk about ideas.
This is what he said.
I'm only here to talk about ideas.
This is what he said.
I'm not your Inquisition court. I'm not your Inquisition court. Well, firstly, bring him, bring Haytham Haddad and let him defend himself.
This is on the record. This is what he said.
You can only agree with
I will not accede to this Inquisition court you're going to set up to say, do you condemn this or do you condemn that one?
So you're on here, but you're not going to express any opinions. Seems like a waste of time to me.
No, about ideas, not about people.
So
I haven't been coming to talk about people. I'm not anyone's lawyer.
Is the idea of female genital mutilation a good or a bad idea?
Well, female genital mutilation, I disagree very strongly.
Good. So you can say that you disagree with that, and you think it's a disgusting, bigoted attitude.
Invite him.
Well, I asked you to agree whether he supports wife beating, killing gays.
You say.
He said no. He does.
If he's
seen
not here,
it's there.
We don't know.
Okay.
All right. We've seen it on YouTube.
You don't disown him. Osama Hassan. It's like.
Ya akhi, look, that's not the way forward. We don't lie for the sake of our religion. Astaghfirullah. We have the truth. We're not going to cover up the truth if people find it embarrassing. This is the reality. Deal with it.
وأنا أرجو أن الإنسان لا يخجل من دينه ويقول لا هذا قبل والإسلام لا يدعو إلى هذا. لا، كن قويا في دينك، أظهر دينك. نعم هذا ديني، نعم. الذي لا يرضى أن يعبد الله تبارك وتعالى فإنه يستعبد أو يدفع الجزية أو يدخل في الإسلام أو يقاتل. هذه الأحوال الأربعة أبدا، لا يوجد حال خامس. لذا أول ما يدعى الإنسان يدعى الإسلام، يقال له اعبد الله تبارك وتعالى. الله خلقك لتعبده، فإذا قال لا أريد أن أعبد الله تبارك، نقول تعيش في أرض الله ولا تعبده، ادفع الجزية. يقول ولن أدفع الجزية. فإذا رفض أن يعبد الله ورفض أن يدفع الجزية، نقول له إذن ما لنا معك إلا القتال، فنقاتله لأجل هذا. فإن قتلناه فهو في النار، وإن أسرناه فهو من السبي، يصير عبدا رغما عنه. لما رفض أن يكون عبدا مكرما باختياره، فسيكون عبدا حقيرا بدون اختياره. هكذا هو الأمر بالنسبة للذين لا يعبدون الله تبارك. وهؤلاء يعني لا تشفقوا عليهم، هؤلاء كفار، هؤلاء يرفضون أن يعبدوا الله تبارك وتعالى، يرفضون أمر الله جل وعلا، يعادون الله، يسبون الله جل وعلا. فالإنسان لا تأخذه الشفقة على أعداء الله، على ناس هم معتدون، كمن تأخذه الشفقة على مجرم يقتل الناس، يسلب أموالهم، يعتدي على أعراضهم. خطأ مسامحة هذا.